Kathleen Rittner, her name synonymous with Hollywood glamour, felt a thrill course through her as the plane touched down in Florence. Directing a movie in Italy, it was more than a professional assignment, it was a dream realized. Years of captivating audiences in front of the camera had fueled a desire to orchestrate the whole story, to paint with a broader brush. Mackenzie Hart, her bright-eyed protégé and gifted translator, squeezed her arm. "Benvenuta in Italia, Kathleen. I can't believe we're actually here." "Me neither," Kathleen breathed, absorbing the vibrant energy of the Italian landscape. Studio executives greeted them, their smiles a mixture of welcome and, perhaps, a hint of apprehension. Kathleen was, after all, a newcomer to the director's chair, stepping out of a role she knew intimately into one that demanded a completely different skill set. The apprehension was immediately amplified at the welcome dinner. Jim Brooks, an American director who had carved a niche for himself in Italian cinema, approached her. His handshake was firm, but his eyes held a condescending glint. "Kathleen Rittner," he drawled, his voice laced with honeyed poison. "Quite the debut. Directing a film, no less. And in Florence, of all places. A city that requires more than just a pretty face behind the camera." Kathleen's smile tightened. "I appreciate your concern, Mr. Brooks. I assure you, I intend to give Florence, and this film, my utmost respect and dedication." Jim scoffed. "Dedication? You haven't paid your dues, Rittner. You've lived in the limelight, not in the trenches. This isn't about acting, it's about leading, about struggling, about understanding a culture you barely know." He paused, his gaze lingering on her. "Perhaps stick to what you're good at, dear." Kathleen refused to let his words pierce her. She'd faced down far worse in Hollywood. "Perhaps, Mr. Brooks," she replied, her voice even, "you underestimate the power of a fresh perspective." The encounter, however, left its mark. Jim's words echoed in her mind as rehearsals began. The pressure was immense, the set chaotic, the language barrier a constant hurdle. Mackenzie, thankfully, was a godsend, navigating the cultural nuances and translating with an effortless grace. But Kathleen needed more than just technical assistance. She needed to connect with the heart of Florence, to understand its rhythm, its soul. One afternoon, escaping the pressure of the set, she found herself in a small, sun-drenched piazza. There, she met Sofia and Lucia, identical twins with fiery red hair and dreams as big as the Duomo. They yearned to be actresses, their passion raw and untamed. Kathleen, seeing a flicker of her younger self in their eyes, took them under her wing. She listened to their stories, shared her own, and in return, they taught her the nuances of Florentine slang, the unspoken rules of the city, and the vibrant heartbeat that thrummed beneath the surface. She also met Giovanni, a writer with kind eyes and a soul that resonated with her own. He showed her hidden gardens, introduced her to local artists, and shared the rich history of Florence. He was impressed by her empathy, her willingness to learn, and her genuine passion for the story she was trying to tell. Slowly, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. Kathleen, armed with her newfound understanding and unwavering determination, started to mold the film, not just directing it, but breathing life into it. She encouraged improvisation, embraced the unexpected, and allowed the magic of Florence to seep into every scene. Jim Brooks watched her progress with growing unease. His own film, shooting concurrently in the city, was plagued with problems. He clung to tired formulas, refusing to adapt, his bitterness hardening into a shield. The premiere of Kathleen's film was a resounding success. Critics praised her sensitive direction, the authentic portrayal of Florentine life, and the chemistry between the actors. The film became a box office hit, captivating audiences with its beauty and its heart. Even Jim Brooks, grudgingly, had to acknowledge her success. Kathleen stood on the stage, the applause washing over her, a wave of triumph mingled with humility. She had faced down prejudice, conquered her own doubts, and discovered a new dimension of herself along the way. Later that evening, sipping wine with Mackenzie and Giovanni, she gazed at the cityscape, the lights of Florence twinkling like 1,000 stars. She was no longer just Kathleen Rittner, the actress. She was Kathleen Rittner, the director, the storyteller, the adventurer who had found her voice in the heart of Italy. And she knew, with a certainty that warmed her soul, that this was just the beginning.